current thoughts and mind frame going into the fourth quarter, which is very important for businesses. If you don't know, the fourth quarter is like the most impactful and potentially best quarter. Well, should be for the most part. It's obviously sometimes depending on your business, it might not be, especially let's say like if you're like a spring business, obviously you're kind of preparing for spring, if you are. But for a lot of things like especially like gift wise or collectibles, potentially the fourth quarter is very, very influential and impactful for the business. So wanted to kind of give my mind frame. I actually have an idea of making my profits, doing another profit video, just specifically for the third quarter, because the first one I did was all for the first two quarters, for January till the end of June, which is the first two quarters of the accounting cycle. And then you have the next 3 months, which would have been July, August, and September that we've just went through, which now we are into the final and fourth quarter, which is very important because you have holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. Kind of the card market also seems to slow down a little bit, especially once it gets closer and closer. It kind of does the same thing. It kind of tapers off. Football is kind of in its, everyone's kind of knowing who is going to be in and out of the playoffs. You kind of have a rough idea. And then you also have basketball that is directly in the middle of the season. So it's kind of like just picking up. Don't really, it's like halfway through, or like the first couple months of now, like maybe like a quarter of the way through. So the most like influential and like part is the next first quarter is also the best probably for football. It's when it starts to pick up even more and more, depending on what cards you have and all that. But it kind of does the same cycle. It tapers off, and then after the fourth quarter, it goes up again. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. But so yeah, I'm going to talk about the Davante Adams situation also in a little bit here. But one of the really crucial and big things for me is trying to actually properly source better and better inventory and more consistently for the whatnot streams that I do. Obviously I would love to run stuff like this all the time, and I'm getting kind of to the point where I have enough viewers and customers to actually be able to run this type of stuff and be able to like get about what I'd net if I directly sold this at $15. Just about, depending. But the real important thing is the liquidity of whatnot, being able to churn and burn inventory. And obviously you can see I want to be able to have this stack of inventory right here you just saw me go through without selling on whatnot, and that's not including what I'm going to be going over that I sold and how how my sales were pretty decent. Obviously it could have been better, but obviously it always could be better. But definitely not a shabby day, especially when looking at the amount of inventory I still have. I think one of the things I'm going to switch to is the higher and higher dollar amount cards, specifically for card shows. So like this is one that I wasn't able to like fully display in a showcase, so I'm gonna probably grab maybe like 1 or 2 more showcases, and then maybe having just $1 or $2 boxes, because the 50 and 25-cent box, I think it literally had like literally I could count on like my hands how many actual cards that were sold from the 50 and 25 cent bins, when that was like the stuff I really felt proud of pricing out. And but yeah, so there's kind of a couple reasons for that. I think someone said organizing it by sport would be helpful. I can try that. Not too sure if it'll be worth my time or what I'll end up doing actually, if I will or not. But this is all stuff I still have, and stuff that is very, very cool stuff still. Like, he just helped them secure their playoff spot, I'm pretty sure. SSP, no team. Name variation, Francisco Lindor. Jet Williams, number 199. Aqua Lava Refractor. Jets prospect, literally pretty much at last comp there. I think even maybe even under. Christian Harris gold out of 10. Just like this entire stack right here is, you know, quite the inventory, especially for, you know, like stuff that didn't sell. You know, like, there's still not shabby stuff like Gold Sparkle, Big Kahuna out of 25, die cut LeBron, second year, that's clean, so potentially look to get that graded too. I'm surprised some of this clean stuff I put on there didn't really sell. This one's potentially clean also. So but yeah, so it's a whole bunch of really cool stuff. I have a whole bunch of the Davante Adams stuff still. I'll be going over all of that I still have. Actually, technically, I'll play it a little bit. I sold like nearly every single one of my Raiders Davante Adams card. I just had a crazy feeling he wasn't going to be on the team very long. So I felt like it was my best time to sell off, and I sold off. This is the only one that's a significant dollar amount. Like, the other ones are just random inserts and all that eventually I'll be able to find in 50, 25 cent, maybe $1 bins, and, you know, but definitely nothing too shabby still. It's a Davante Adams card. I probably will run this on tomorrow's stream even, just leaving the sticker on there, just running it maybe. Might take off the sticker, but yeah, so cool. Davante Adams in his Fresno State uni. I'm kind of okay with him leaving the Raiders. I'm a Raiders fan, if you didn't know. And that's because I have all of these cards. I have all these cards of him. So for me, the value goes up if he actually ends up leaving the Raiders as a jersey number. Especially some of these ones I have. Like, you know, out of 25, Davante Adams, if he goes to a contender, let's just say, makes the Jets kind of contender, or potentially puts the Saints over the edge again, it could be something real nice. Technically, I could probably keep all these numbered Davante Adams. Might be a nice idea to do so. Might be difficult to come by them. I do collect the first year Mosaic serial numbered set for football. Technically, I collect any year, but definitely the first year for sure. Especially stuff like that. But I'm also okay with selling some stuff. Out of 50, player worn. I sold a ton of this stuff too. Especially to some of the people I sold them to. I'm okay with parting ways. There's actually some really cool ones that I let go and all that. This National Treasures out of 99. Rookie patch there. 1-on-1 printing plates. Davante Adams out of 99. Out of 75. Green cracked ice color match. There's some really cool ones though. I still have the gold rookie card from Topps Finest. The printing plates again. Ton of cracked ices here. 3 of them. And then another one of these select patches out of 60. So all these, especially, he's pretty much out of his way, on his way out the door. So all these ones I've priced, I would say, especially given the news, are probably pretty fairly, especially when you consider out of 50 for $15. Especially if he ends up making his way to a team that is very much on the brink of on contention. But yeah, so just a ton of stuff. Aspirations die cut rookie out of 83. There's a ton of stuff. But so I think the big thing for me is actually being able to display these fully. Just because the value bins didn't do as hot as I once thought, or what I was thinking before. I started to set up and sell there, and I think maximizing the total viewing area and how beautiful some of these cards are would probably be the best for me. Like, instead of, I can show you guys some photos, maybe some videos. I think I have videos mainly right now of what I'm talking about when I say the situation. Like, I literally had them stacked up like this. Like, so you kind of had to, you know, really know your stuff in some instances, which that was just because I didn't want to have a ton of $10 and up stuff, you know, out in the open and in the value bins right there. Still ended up having to, but yeah, so that would be one of my big things, is switching over to not having like just value bins that are just taking up space, and instead switching over to showcases. I think one of the big things I want to also do is try to approach more and more of like the higher dollar stuff like this, like $10 and up. It's a little difficult on Whatnot to do that because you never know how wild cards are going to go for. Like this card, pretty sure I checked comps and this was a $20 card. I'm not too sure if, but I know like some of these I definitely checked comps, like this Joe Mauer gold out of 2004. But yeah, some of these I checked last comp, like Jay Jetta's rookie out of 199 patch. Case hit SSPs, like pretty much valued at $30. You never know if they're gonna go for half comp. So when you have a whole bunch more shots at selling cards, like, let's just give examples here. I have a whole bunch of stuff here, like, instead of rather, you know, having, let's just say this amount, 2, 4, 6, let's just say 15 cards, right? And then that costing you, let's just guess, you know, let's just estimate 15 cards. You spend like, let's just say $10 a piece, right? That's $150 right there. If you get half of those, you know, like let's just say you sell them off and half of them go for half, and then these ones go for, you know, comp, right? Well, you're losing the, you know, 40% here, 60% technically, once you consider half comp minus 10% for Whatnot fees. And then you have these ones that are full comp, so let's just say 5 and 10, so that's 40 or 60% gone here, and then you're losing 10% here. Well, technically, depending on how you do it too, just because you have to spend, after you get to $20 and up, you have to spend 85% going upwards, depending on the seller and all that, or the deal that walks up or approaches you. But you have to end up, you know, paying up for a lot of these cards, especially depending on the situation and all that. But you're losing 60% here. You're losing, let's just say, you're gaining 10% on these 5. I mean, it kind of logistically doesn't make much sense to. So what I think will counteract it is buying stuff like this. Like, if someone has an entire collection of stuff like this, like let's just say they do have an entire stuff like this, and let's just add the Davante in that conversation too. They they have entire collection that they are wanting to part ways with that are $10 and up. Well, if you're gonna at least make us, let's just say you give them room at, let's just say you give them room at like 85, 90%, right? Well, you're gonna end up making about 74%, 75%. So I guess you're making 5%, which isn't really, I was gonna say, because you buy it at 70%. But depending on the deal too, right? If you, like, there's this good example right here. This card right here, I bought for $10. It's a pop 1-0 higher. I'm guessing the person didn't know that I bought it from. Pop 1-0 higher, so it's the highest. It's technically the highest grade of this card. Case hit SSP black and red checkerboard of an actual player that gets some playing time and is actually a good defensive player for their team. So something like this is, it's pretty much all, subjective. Obviously, it's not going to be a $400, $500 card because it is an 8, but it is the highest graded population card. So who knows? I mean, someone might actually be okay with paying up for it, especially at $25. I feel like was very fair there. And then you got to consider all that, right? He's going to be going to a bigger and better team. So all that's going to be really nice once he does. But it's really difficult to actually, it's really difficult to actually get deals to, source stuff like this. I'm sure everyone's having that same exact consideration. So I don't think I'll ever stop fully doing the low end stuff. I really love the low end stuff, but I'm also wanting to get more and more of stuff like this while focusing on the lower end stuff, but also adding these into deals, the $10 and up stuff. It's just, for me, I think that's, I pretty much, I think 95% plus of my total revenue I earned at the card show was from these $10 and up stuff. Maybe $2 and up would be better for sure. That would probably be 98% plus of the actual, potentially maybe 95 is actually a good number. $2 and up stuff, but definitely the showcase stuff was where it seemed to be. There was a couple deals that came out of the $2 and up bin, and then I know for sure of like 2 or 3 deals, depending on how you look at it, out of the $1 and like 50 cent and under bin. Technically I had WWE and Disney, and no one even like looked through those 2 boxes. I think one of the big things for next time is making like a sign. So like up here, like having like a a $1 sign, and then I like, because there's one instance where like they would have had no idea if I had Disney if they didn't look through that and realized there was Disney there. But they bought the entire box of my Disney for like $250, which I was into it. I mean, the remaining of it, I'm guessing I probably paid, like, I was probably into it for maybe $120, maybe $125 more. So that doubled up my money into it there. Technically, I was into it for $200, so even then, I just profited $50. There were some top loaders and all that I added too. But I also sold them a $5 set, or technically I sold it to them for $25, but I bought it for $5 and sold it to them for $25. Is the full set of the Little Mermaid, the first ever Little Mermaid set. So I sold that to them too, so that's $275 just off the Disney. And then someone else bought the entire value bin of my WWE, but the entire time I hadn't sold a single card out of those bins. Technically, I think I sold a WWE one that wasn't in the WWE bin because of the space I had. I put it in it was a $2 and up card, so I put it in the $2 and up card bin. But for me, I think I'm going to depending on the deal, depending on if I can get stuff like that again, but I probably, might end up, stashing something, away, or like, something or the other of not, it's just, if I'm gonna get 2 tables, which I guess I would be my guess, I would probably potentially just have like a dollar bin and not have to so worry about the dollar bin, and then having more knowledge of what it is just off a glance, and having people be able to know that those are all dollar cards, and then the rest being $10 and up. But because it kind of leaves, I don't have room for 2, 3, 5, 7, 10, depending on what the value is I put on them. I don't have room for those, so maybe have enough room for a 2-row box of $2 and up to like $10, like in between that $2 to $10 range, and then having like a 5-row or like a 4-row $1 box, and just replenishing them as the show goes on. Kind of just rethinking my thought process. Technically, I did meet a viewer, so that was really cool. He noticed me because he was asking for my information if I had a card. I didn't get a business card made before the show, so I wrote it on I wrote it on his receipt because I didn't even have paper too. I didn't have a couple things that I should have had, but I had things I didn't need also. So yeah, so I wrote it on his thing, and he was very excited to see that it was my username. But yeah, he was like, I watch you. So shout out to the viewer. I appreciate very, very, very much so for watching, especially every single one of you guys. But yeah, so I don't know. Also, I will say this. My current thoughts are, I don't know. I don't think I want to be one of those YouTubers that get recognized everywhere. I don't know. Obviously, I would love for you guys to actually know, who I am and all that. But for me, I don't know. I don't get off on having the, I don't know. Like, there's no point for me. Like, I'd rather have the anonymity, however the heck you say that word, the anonymity of just, my hands and my voice are, already telltale signs of, if people, I don't know. But what the main point is, some people you can tell, especially after you kind of meet them a couple times, or, you're, given, sometimes you can tell people are, enjoying the limelight too much, or sometimes people will, I don't know, people use other people for views and clicks and all that, which is not for me. What's for me is cards. I don't know. I've loved cards since I was 8 years old. My brother introduced me to Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and then Resident Evil also. Yes, the trading card, the deck building card game. And I highly doubt 1% of any of these card influencers, regardless of sports cards or not, actually knew that was an actual game. But that was one of my more favorite card games, even, was the Resident Evil one. But yeah, so just certain aspects of cards for me, like, this is all about cards. This is definitely only a fraction of what I have. I have a whole 2-row box that I didn't even go through. Just kind of trying to focus on what I'm saying and all that. And I also got to make this pretty quick. But yeah, so for me, more and more showcases, being able to actually display my card fully, not like, also one huge thing is switching how I do the prices, because I don't know if people thought I was writing $165 and having it like, you know, like, but that was supposed to be out of 65 was the whole thing. So switching my price tag, my price tags, and the way I put the out of, so, you know, I might use one more number thing, right? But at the very least, at quick glances, people will know that these are $25 cards. They're gonna think I'm being too ridiculous. Maybe even just if I want to put SP rare, I just do another one, right? Like SSP no name, no team name, but certain things like that will be switching up. I think that I'm preparing, what I'm going to be doing is preparing to have my biggest stream ever on the Whatnot card show. Potentially, I think that's my goal. Yeah, I think that would be my goal, is November 9th at 6 p.m. PST. It's going to be a Saturday, November 9th, and I'll be having my biggest ever stream. So, like, potentially running, let me just look through, I might even just run all my Davantes. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But, like, I mean, I already have quite a little bit. Technically, I'm going to be selling these directly and all that. But, technically, baseball doesn't have the biggest audience, and also basketball doesn't either. But, there's quite a little bit of stuff I'll probably end up running on there. Like, probably like this Josh Downs. I feel like $10 for this card is pretty amazing deal. Like Julius Peppers, Heroes Gold out of 50. I might just run that there. Justin Houston out of 405 auto. Probably just run that there. Not really care if it doesn't sell by the time I do the thing. Chris Cooley out of 15 autograph. Might just sell that there. This one, some of these ones I'm going to be selling directly to some repackers I know during the 3-day Sacramento card show. But also, I really want to prepare to move over the next couple months. I'm not sure how or when or what or how or why or all the details. Technically, yeah, I know some of the details, but not really enough to say. But want to end up moving to where would be the best for me, because where I'm currently at, it's very, very difficult for me to source inventory for what I would like to actually be able to run and do on Whatnot and all the live selling, or all the platforms I want to sell on. But yeah, so this is just a tiny bit of the inventory, just my thoughts currently. Potential grade candidates too. I'll show, probably end up doing a little submission depending on, we'll see. I'm not too sure. Not too sure if what will make the cut, or what I might want to take a chance on and what I might not want to take a chance on. But yeah, like, some of these cards might grade really tough, but some of these cards really did have amazing eye appeal and all that. Like, this is one of them. But yeah, I'm surprised a lot of these cards that I put clean on didn't sell. Like, these are all the big names. I don't know if people just didn't think that they were actually clean, that they had never seen somebody actually mark cards as clean. They're like, what? Do they think I mean I cleaned them? No, that's not what I meant when I put clean on there. Maybe I won't put clean on there again. But I don't know. That's pretty funny. Maybe that is what someone Teal thought. But, so yeah, I want to end up calling it here. I might actually end up selling this, like, pink camo just on auction. Just saying, during my Whatnot card show. Maybe this Luke Musgrave too, I might just sell tomorrow or something, but I have to get ready for that, so gotta call it here. But appreciate very, very much so for watching. Feel free to, if you see anything you're wanting out of these cards that I showed, you can comment down below. Probably the best place would be either Instagram or Whatnot to purchase any of these. But so yeah, I'm gonna get going so I can finish this video up for you guys and do a whole bunch of stuff I need to. But I appreciate you guys very much so, and I hope you have a good one. Take it easy.